Cut off parasocial relationships. First of all, what is a parasocial relationship? Google defines parasocial relationships as one-sided relationships where one person extends emotional energy, interest, and time, and the other party, the persona, is completely unaware of the other's existence. Now, I'm using the word parasocial a little bit different than the original definition, which was presented for major celebrities and their fans. I'm not necessarily talking about that. In the social media era, there is a new way to have a parasocial relationship, and I'm going to explain it further in this video, but this is what Wikipedia says. Social media introduces additional opportunities for parasocial relationships to intensify because it provides more opportunities for intimate, reciprocal, and frequent interactions between the user and persona. These virtual interactions may involve commenting, following, liking, or direct messaging. The consistency in which the persona appears could also lead to a more intimate perception in the eyes of the user. That is more aligned with the type of parasocial relationship that I'm talking about and that I'm going to be warning you all of. And you may not even see some of these signs as red flags and not good for you, but I'm going to explain why you need to cut off all parasocial relationships in your life when it comes to social media interactions. Let's just go ahead and talk about it. DM booze. You do not have to have 100,000 followers on Instagram for your DMs to be flooded with random men trying to talk to you. The more I post, the more it happens to me, and I only have 16,000 followers on Instagram. But my DMs are flooded with men that believe that they have a chance or are trying to get a chance, so it seems. Really, they're just energy vampires, and I'm going to get into that in a moment. But this is what I call DM boos, the ones that reply to your stories, heart your stories, say all the nice, sweet things to get you to accept their message request, and then you accept their message request, and all it is just continuing to like and compliment, and talk about what they would do if they got the chance to meet you, right? That's all it is. That's really all it is. And a lot of them are not in your city. It's interesting because the ones that are not in my city, I pay no mind to them, usually. I did pay mind to one long distance DM boo, and that ended up being one of the worst decisions of my entire life. I'll get into that in a moment. But the ones that are in my city, if they are attractive and they look like they got some business going on, I will take them up on their offer. A lot of them are just saying all the things that they would offer me, all the things that they would do for me, all this, all that, if I gave them a chance. So I call their bluff and I say, okay, we're in the same city. Take me on a date. I'm available this time. Here's what I like to do. You know, I put the ball in their court. I give them all the tools that they need to succeed, and they still drop the ball because they never really actually wanted to do the things that they say they want to do. They just want to bother you and use your energy to feed their ego. That's it. They are just energy vampires. There is only one guy that has made it out of the DMs out of hundreds of men that I gave the opportunity to. Only one made it out of the DMs and became an in real life situation and ended up being a horror story for me. Everyone else, as soon as you tell them, okay, then do it. Or, okay, here it is. You know, here's your chance. Here's your opportunity. Oh, you say you want to do this for me? Okay, so do it. They either go ghost. Some guys actually come clean and be like, oh, no, I'm just talking. I've literally had probably about a dozen men that I've just said, oh, no, I'm just talking. That's it. To them, you have to understand, to men, internet is fake. It's fake. I'm very passionate about this because I had to learn the hard way with this. To men, the internet is fake. To men, if they are reaching out to you in the DMs, they do not see you as a real person. They do not. So although you're not on celebrity level where the original parasocial relationship definition stemmed from, in their eyes, you are an online persona. You are not a real person, and they treat you as such. So I've had a dozen men that straight up said, oh, no, I'm just talking. And then they end up getting blocked. Or I've had guys that just keep on making excuses as to why. And then after a couple weekends of making excuses, I then block them. I've had guys that have made it even as far as getting my number and us texting and them saying all the things that they want to do and taking me out and this and that. And then again, they drop the ball. They make an excuse. Something comes up. They want a rain check. It's always a rain check. And I just politely say, Oh, no, it's fine. No rain check. Oh, so I can't make it up? No. Oh, so we can't reschedule? No. I have a rule where, and this is whether I meet somebody in the DMs or not. If our scheduled first date doesn't happen, you don't get a second opportunity for a first date. Period. No questions asked. No rain check. No second opportunity. No rescheduling date. It's a hard, strict boundary for me, and I don't care what the circumstance is. I've had men say, oh, it's because their kids got a game, or, oh, they'll work their job, or, oh, their family, or, oh, their car tire. I don't care what, just to keep it real, I don't care what excuse you come up with, you don't get another chance. You schedule the first date in advance. I put it on my calendar. I set time aside for it. You canceled. You don't get the chance to do that again, period. A lot of times that rubs people the wrong way because men love to walk all over you and they don't like boundaries. So I recommend anybody that is listening to this video, think about implementing that rule. It'll save you a lot of headache in the future. Social media. If someone's reaching out to you via social media, 9 times out of 10 is just for energetic vampire purposes. They get their ego fed that the pretty girl that they like online is responding to them, that the pretty girl that they like online is saying good morning back to them, that the pretty girl that they like online is taking time out of their day to talk to them in the DMs. That feeds their ego, and that is all they want from you. They don't want nothing more than that. That's enough for them. That's enough. That's it. That's all they want. And so you need to cut off these parasocial relationships, cut off the DM booze, cut off the message requests, cut it off completely. They are pulling at your energy. You giving them the time of day is motivating them to carry on about their day. And I don't consider myself a humanitarian in that way. I'm not into doing charity work right now. If you've never met this person in real life, they don't exist. Period. That's how they think about us online. That's how we need to start thinking about them. They do not exist. If you are online dating, a rule that I had when I was online dating is if we match and we talk and we do not meet up in real life within 2 weeks of talking to each other, it's done. It's a hard cutoff. I'm wishing you well and I'm sending you off with love to go find somebody else to play with. There is no reason why 2 people live in the same city and they're talking on a dating app and have not met in real life within 2 weeks. 14 days of excuses is 14 days too many, because men make time for what they want to make time for. And if they have not made time for you in 14 days, that is foreshadowing how the rest of your relationship and time with them will be. They are not available to you. Understand that and leave them alone. Now, let me get into my horror story. And this is a warning for anyone that believes that they have a long distance bae as well. So a few years ago, I met a guy in the DMs. This guy reached out to me in the DMs. He was a traditionally attractive guy. To me, I would consider him a pretty boy, and that's not my type. But traditionally and society-wise, he was extremely attractive, although it wasn't my personal type. He came after me so hard in the DMs, but he lived across the country. Him and I chatted up in the DMs. We had a lot in common and we became friends. We moved from DMs to phone after 2 months of talking in the DMs casually. Then via phone, we became really, really good friends. FaceTiming all the time, texting all day, talking on the phone. I mean, it was literally like a long distance relationship. Saying all these things that he wants to do for me, if I would just move out there for our life together, this and that, selling me a dream, a complete dream. He came off as just the sweetest guy that just wanted to adore me and love me down. After 6 months of that, I considered moving, but I ended up not moving. I ended up staying where I live now and got into some other things. A whole other year goes by. He's still in my DMs. At the time, I didn't see it as stalking. I saw it as keeping up with me. So even though I was kind of not entertaining him because I was really into somebody else, during that year of us kind of going our separate ways, which I didn't really consider it going our separate ways because we weren't together and he lived across the country. I was more concerned with somebody in real life that was in real life in my city, and we were together in real life. And he knew that I was seeing somebody in real life. And turns out he would view my friends' stories to try to see if I would be in them, because I blocked him on certain things. He would reach out to me via email. He would reach out to me in so many different ways to try to just keep up with me. So when my in real life situation broke up, which ended up being another year later, this guy turns up again. And this time he's laying it on even more thick, wanting me to give him a chance, this and that, and the third. So I end up moving. 30% of the reason why I moved was to see where things go with him. The other 70% of the reason why I moved were for personal reasons. I absolutely love where I moved to. It was amazing. It was beautiful. Met him in real life. The mask started coming down quickly. And then all of his secrets that he was hiding from me ended up getting completely exposed. I ended up finding out a lot because the island's very small. People knew of him and knew his business that I did not know from being long distance. It ended up being one of the worst situations of my life. Can't even get into the whole story, it would be too long. He, of course, was not the man that I thought he was. At this point, this man is blocked on everything. Any new social media platform that I get on, he finds a way to find me and let me know that he's still watching me, reaching out to me through different iCloud accounts and, different ways of communication that I didn't even know were possible to this day. And it has been over 3 years since I replied to his first DM. And I wish I would have never replied to his first DM over 3 years ago, because I'm still dealing with the consequences of opening that line of communication. He ended up being a narcissist, a sociopath, all the things. Obviously, there's a lot more that goes into that story, but that's the gist of it. I say all that to say, do yourself a favor and cut off parasocial relationships.